Welcome back. I'm back from YouTube following a very, very long break with a new career. What better way to get back into YouTube? It's a road to glory. Swindon Town is the team. A couple of things to go over after we get this series started is I want to keep this quite realistic. So meaning you're probably not going to sign players with like 87 potential in League 2 because that's just not going to happen. I really hope this series is really going to be very eye-catching because I'm going to influence lots of the youth academy, sign some players you're probably not heard of because it is going to be a League 2 one, and that's probably what's going to happen in League 2. Again, as I said, we are picking Swindon Town mainly because of their jerseys. They're not like very bad like most League 2 teams. They have a decent budget and they have very nice goals for the season, like high youth academy, high domestic success, and low continental success. I think that's just my type of goals we need. Here I'm just setting up the settings. Match difficulty I put on world class, mainly because I'm not the best at FIFA. It will be due to change during the course of the series because I may improve and I may up it to legendary and even ultimate. I decided to change the name of the stadium. Obviously, they don't have the stadium name in the game, so I Googled it and I just put the stadium name of Swindon Town in the game. So here I'm just checking over all the settings, make sure I have everything right, just waiting for those. And then I do get the preseason. I decided to go for the easiest one, and it wasn't the least money, so I think that was like the perfect one. Finally, starting the save, I start with replying to the emails from the start, the vision and expectations. I'm not too bothered about this stuff, so I just deleted all of them. Next, I decided to go into squad and figure out what we are working with through the season, what I need to improve on, and all that fun stuff. Right away, I realized we were pretty weak in the goalkeeper position. Our backup was 53 rating. Our starting keeper was 62, so one of the weakest players in the team, and he was 35 years of age. So right away, I want to improve in the goalkeeper position. Again, as I said, just figuring out what we have in the team. I'm switching a few players out, like with their pace and stuff. I don't want some players in there, mainly because they're just not my style. Then I go ahead and change the tactical system, whatever you want to call it. I go to a 4-1-2-1-2 Nero, and then eventually I do change the instructions. Here is where I change the instructions. Fullbacks are on overlap, 2 center backs stay back while attacking. Grant is on drop between defenders, 2 midfielders same, attacking mids free roam, and the 2 strikers are on get in behind and drift wide. So after that, I decided to search for a goalkeeper because, as I said, it's a very weak where I have keepers. So I do end up searching for people on the loan list, mainly because I want to base most of my budget on the youth academy, so I don't want to be spending any money for a keeper. I find a few keepers, Daniel Grimshaw, Mark Travers, and then the 2 other people. They are probably very unlikely, the 2 foreign people, mainly because I want to keep it quite realistic, and I doubt in League 2 you're going to be loaning people in from like Serie A. I just can't see it happening. And then I do check out the complete loan list without any position. I find Tyrese John Jules. I'm pretty fond of him, plays for Arsenal. Then I search the free agents and find Berkar Bjarnason. Pretty sure he played for Aston Villa last year, so we'll scout him and figure out how good he is. Again, as I said, I do want to be spending most of my budget on the youth academy, so I do end up changing the budget and putting a little bit more on the actual transfer budget. I hire a scout. There's a 4-star, 2-star, and a 4-star, 4-star. I go with the 4-star, 4-star one. It's all my budget, but I do want to be investing highly in the youth academy. I send a bit to England because I doubt you're going to find foreign youth academy players in League 2. There we get the confirmation of the scouting network starting up. 4K left in the budget, not the most, but again, as I said, I want to be spending a lot in the youth academy, so I'm probably only going to be bringing in loans this year. Here we are in the scouting instructions. I just wanted to set up one for pre-contracts, freebies. I did 23 because you can only sign players 23 years of age and above, and 1 year of a contract. Again, as I said, I want a realistic approach, so I'm not going to sign the best players on pre-contracts. I'm only going to sign realistic pre-contracts, so probably a player that's a deadwood for one club, but would be a very, very useful player for us. Here we are just going over the squad, transfer listing a few players that are probably not going to play or they're just deadwood. And so all the wingers, obviously I did my formation, don't have any wingers. So all the wingers that can't play striker did get transfer listed, and a few other players that weren't going to get in my plans this season. Following that, I decided to set up a B team. Very useful to have a B team and an A team, just so you can click one button and you change your complete team just in case you need to rest your first team or if it's a cup competition and you want to give certain players a chance. So obviously, during the B team, you remove everybody from the first team, replace them with your second string players that may not be getting as much game time. So following that, I looked at the players. Some players are very different than the players in the first team. Like the two strikers don't have near as much pace. So I decided to change their instructions from get in behind to just mixed attack because I don't want them getting in behind because they don't have near enough pace to be doing that. Finally, I decided to simulate forward, get through the first preseason game of the season. It's against some Norwegian team, I think it is. Not the best of teams, but we're in League 2, obviously. Before that, I decided to reply to a couple of player chats. The welcoming one and Isgrove saying he was not happy getting transfer listed. Simulating this game, we do get a 0-0 draw. The best of results, but the main purpose of preseason in FIFA is to get morale up and have a happy team, because that will help you during the course of the season. Get a scout report back on Luis Alessandra. He's not going to get signed right away. He's a possible pre-contract signing. And then I do simulate forward, getting lots more scout reports on some potential loan players. And then one transfer offer for a right mid I do have transfer listed. Finally, I decided to go ahead and check out the loan players. Mark Travers was my first choice for the goalkeeper position. And then I saw Burkhard Bjarnason, not sure that's how you pronounce his name, but he was way too high rating to sign in League 2, so I doubt I'm going to bring him in. While I'm negotiating the Mark Travers deal, I wanted to split the wages 40-60. He wants 60-40. I decided to meet straight in the middle. He says no, 60-40. I keep negotiating. Maybe not the best of ideas because he stormed straight out. So following that, I decided to go in for a loan for Tyrese John Jules. I think he'd be a great option to bring off the bench, especially in League 2. Starting the negotiations, I start with 40-60 just like Mark Travers, and he says yes straight away, which is very helpful. After that, I decided to simulate forward in the preseason. I do end up going with the B team, mainly because we did the first team and they're a little bit tired. Get the morale up for the B team players. Do simulate that 2-1 loss, but that's not the main point of preseason. So now I am getting a couple of emails. Tyrese John Jules did reject the loan offer, so he will not be coming in. Then we do get an transfer offer for young English left back, probably not going to play in the first team, so we do accept that. Then we get a scout report on one of the players we could be bringing in on pre-contract. Then we simulate the final game of preseason, getting a 1-0 loss. After that, we do get a couple of emails, the prize money and our board's reaction to the preseason tournament. I didn't really read that, mainly because it's not too important. After that, we see that Ellis's transfer talks have broken down, but he does get one more offer, which I do accept. Well, after that, we do go back in for Mark Travers in on loan. Instead of trying to negotiate the best possible deal, I decided to just go for exactly what Eddie Howe wanted from the start, so he wouldn't have to have any risk or anything like that, so he does accept that straight away. Following that, we do simulate forward, and we get the news that Travers is loaned in and Ellis, the young English left back, is sold. So I do put Mark Travers into the first team because he will be our first team goalkeeper for the whole season unless he gets injured. So we do get an offer for our fourth choice keeper. I will accept that, mainly because he won't get used at all this season, so we do accept that loan offer. After that, I do want to search for some other loan players for squad depth, but I don't want to loan anyone in from a foreign league. I'm only loaning players in from the English league system. I end up finding Jake Vokins, the young English left back, who will be our backup left back. So I do go ahead and go in for a loan offer for Jake Vokins. 1 year is the length. Then I go for a 40-60 wage split, and he does accept that. So we do simulate forward, just waiting for the news, seeing if he does join the club. And then we do get the news that Vokins is loaned in. So we do go ahead and put him straight into the B team. Only 57 rating, but I do like his work rates and his stats, so I think that will be fine. So we do get a monthly scouting update, which I check out. Only 4 players coming through. All of them rejected, apart from the last one is Jamie Baker, a 15-year-old English goalkeeper who does look quite decent. That will be the end of today's episode. Tomorrow we will be starting with the game away to Scunthorpe.